Hello and welcome to the Action Coach Business Spotlight. My name is Laura McAteer, and along with my husband, John Boggess, we run Action Coach Cambridge. And what we do is we help business owners across the Cambridge region. Now, today I am delighted because I have with me Lucy Jung, who is the founder and the CEO of Charco Neurotech. Lucy, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me today, Lauren.
Oh, it is my absolute pleasure, Lucy. I am so excited to hear about your journey with Charco Neurotech. So listen, let's just get straight into it and kick off. Give me some background about what it is that you do. Tell me about your business.
Absolutely. So in 2013, it's been a while now. It was my first time to meet with a gentleman who have a Parkinson's. And he was saying that he's really happy, but he looks angry because of Parkinson's.
Mm.
And Parkinson's stole his smile because it caused a symptom like stiff face. Since then, my aim and Charco's aim became to bring smiles back for people with Parkinson's. Then is when we started our research back at Royal College of Art and Imperial College London. We did a research into Parkinson's and fast forward right now, we are developing a medical device that is wearable, sitting on a sternum for people with Parkinson's, delivering a stimulation that reduces their symptoms, especially stiffness, slowness, freeze of gait, and so on, that improves their day-to-day lives.
Wow, that sounds truly amazing. So you've been going since 2013. So where are you based and how many people do you have in your team, Lucy?
We actually started our research back then, but the company has been founded in 2019, and now we are based in Cambridge, but now we have office in South Korea and also in the US. We have about 38 team members, excluding board members of 7 people. So yeah, we've grown from two founders to a big company now.
Wow, that's amazing. So Lucy, tell me, your clients, do they tend to come sort of through the hospital system or private referrals? Do they tend to be sort of individuals or sort of where do your clients come from?
That's a great question. So when we actually started, we met with lots of people with Parkinson's through the community. And while we were working on the research, lots of people showed their interest, and we always engage with them because we're learning from what are the challenges and what are the needs, problems that they face day to day. So we naturally grew our community with people with Parkinson's for nearly decades now. And I think that really kind of generated what we call word of mouth of
Hmm.
spreading people learning more about our company and the device and the research and so on. So over the years, it was mostly a group of people with Parkinson's, them talking about the device, how it helped with them. And that's generated over now 17,000 people on the waiting list of the device. And now we're getting the devices for them. But now that interest moved on to hospitals and physiotherapists and Parkinson's nurses. So now these days, we're getting a lot of request from the hospitals and healthcare providers asking if they can try the device or if they can prescribe the device for their patients as well.
Hmm. Do you know what, Lucy, it's really, really interesting. I have to ask, I mean, you're incredibly smiley, your face just lights up and you can tell that you're really enthusiastic about your product and what it is that you're looking to do. But how did you end up here? Is this the kind of thing that you were working towards when you were younger, or, did you study and end up going down this certain path? How did you get here, Lucy?
A little bit about my story. Thank you for asking. Is that my undergrad was in Industrial Informatic Design. That was really looking to user experience when it comes to product design. And I was trained at Samsung Design Membership as well. So we were looking into how people are using their devices and new technology and how we can improve their experience in using technology and so on. Mostly were consumer devices, so it was tablets and mobile phones and so on. But when I started my short internship in London, one of the offices were working in medical devices, and I just found incredible value in using technology to improve the quality of life for long-term conditions and rare conditions. So from then onwards, I went to master's at innovation design engineering and really focused on medical devices and research using technology. And whether it's technologies or even service or process to improve life for people who are suffering from long-term conditions. Most of my projects were kind of research based and it ended as a research. What happened is in 2015, while I was working on one of the project with Parkinson's, as I mentioned earlier, to improve the micrographia using stimulation, I got diagnosed with brain tumor. And at that time, I had to go through medications and really bad reaction to the medications. Ended up having a brain surgery at relatively quite young age. Really taught me about how if there's possibility that we can improve quality of life for people with long-term conditions, we shouldn't just end it as a research. We should definitely do something about it. So that's why there's a quite of a big gap of me starting the research and actually founding the company, because that was the core reason why I started the company, because I didn't wanted the research that we were doing to end that, but actually make an impact in their day-to-day life. It is a non-invasive technology. It has been looked in from 18th century. So it is time for us to actually get the devices out there and make real impact in day-to-day life. So that's kind of my story of why I'm so passionate about what we're doing and the importance of improving the quality of life for people.
Oh wow, what an amazing journey. I mean, it's I mean, having your own first-hand experience and the journey that you've gone through personally to actually motivate you to actually, sort of do. It sounds a lot, Lucy, like you were always going to end up on a path where you're going to create something that helps people, but there's nothing quite more motivational than having experienced a real challenge in your own life to really put your foot on the accelerator.
Definitely.
Are you safe and well now?
Yes, I am. It is a follow-up that I always have to do, which I take it in a way really grateful because I get to at least a little bit understand what it means that you have a long-term condition and you have to constantly go check up and so on. So I think that really keep me remember what is really important when making decisions of running the company. So I'm actually quite grateful. As you mentioned, I take it as I meant to learn lots of lessons. I got to experience how it means to be a patient and going to the hospitals and taking the procedures and so on. So I am actually really grateful for the experience that I had.
Gosh, what an amazing journey, Lucy. So from when you started your research in 2013, up till now, I imagine that you must have come across a number of challenges and that you've had to overcome. Can you take me through what they've been?
Course, I have to say lots of challenges day to day. I think all the founders will say the same that although we kind of like look like we don't have any issues, every founders have a lot of things that they think about every day, which is great in a way because we learn how to tolerate it and it's not damaging because it's all about how we take those issues and take a right attitude of okay, how are we going to resolve this? So a couple of things, obviously, over the years, we found it in 2019, which meant very, very soon there was COVID, there was a
Mm.
component shortage, and now there's obviously quite of difficulties in the environment of the startups of raising funds and so on. So there are lots of challenges, and it brought different lessons, if I may say. COVID taught us how to work remotely, really quickly react to really fast changing environment of working or engaging with people with Parkinson's and also the media and so on. So it was one of the most important times for us to be supportive to our people with Parkinson's. So
Mm.
yes, we were developing technology, but we were trying our best to help our community members set up Zoom calls, for example, running some events so that we make sure that they're informed. Because lots of people who couldn't go out for activities got really affected, especially people with Parkinson's tend to have higher chance of getting depression. So we really tried to react to that with the component shortage. All of the team members really went down to looking into the components, where we can find them and so on. So, like, there were always challenges. There are challenges today as well, but it's just taking the right attitude. And I have to say, one of the what really taught me over the years of running Charco is that there will be challenges all the time, but
Yeah.
it's how the team members take, how are we going to resolve this issue? And our team has been incredible team members to work with because they're so focused on how are we going to solve this? Okay, this happened. Let's look into this. Let's analyze what's going on and come up with the mitigation and make sure that we learn from it so that it doesn't happen again.
Yeah, absolutely. And it makes such a huge difference, Lucy, when your team are as enthusiastic about your product and your service as you are. And it sounds like you've got a great team behind you. And it's true what you say, no business comes, you know, ever experiences no challenges. It would be very worrying because, like you say, there's phenomenal learnings when you come across challenges, and even
Mm.
just coming out the other side, going, we survived, we've learned, it's such a, although it can be a difficult period, it can be phenomenal when it comes to the learnings. And just talking about learnings, Lucy, reflecting kind of back on your business today and also your life, what would you say the biggest learnings are that you've had?
I think the biggest learning, interestingly, just talking about the personal life, is I can always learn from others. It's something that I always say. I've got two little ones, and I always say that I'm learning from my two little ones every day, the way they think. And we are reading this philosophy book together with my 5 and 7 years old. And if you talk with them, the things that they can come up with is so creative and out of box. It's incredible. I genuinely love learning from other people, no matter who it is and what background they're coming from, listening to their thoughts. And I love asking about what their thinking process is to understand them better. People with Parkinson's, people who are giving a care for Parkinson's or healthcare providers. So I try to learn as much as possible. And this really comes from my experience of actually going through my health issue because interestingly enough, before I got diagnosed, I was writing a dissertation about doing a research and understanding patients' life.
Oh,
And
wow.
I always say that I kind of read lots of books, I read lots of theses, and was working on this dissertation, but I cannot be more humble about it in a way that I realized that the books were not everything by going through the experience myself. So when I actually came back from the whole hospital of like 5 years of off period of going through the surgery and recovering and taking medications, I had to change the whole dissertation because um, I cannot, people who are living with the conditions are the experts. So we have to really listen to them. And if you listen to them, that's where you really find the problems and needs that they're facing. So I think that is the biggest learning, and it's something that I try to keep in my heart day to day.
And it's so important. I mean, you can get somebody's lifelong learnings by reading a book, but I mean, there's a phenomenal book out there, Alan Pease, The Questions Are the Answers. Ask people and you'll get, you'll get the answers. And there's so much that you can learn just by asking questions. Yet so many people don't do
Definitely.
it. So Lucy, I mean, obviously you take your inspiration from, your family and, at 5 and 7, reading books on philosophy. I mean, your children, I bet that's some really interesting conversations you have with them. But where do you take your inspiration from? I mean, is there one person in particular or?
I get actually inspiration from so many people, I have to say. And once again, I love listening to their journeys and their thoughts and so on. And it's one of the things that I love talking with people with Parkinson's. Lots of our community members are quite in their above 60, so they went through their lives, they had the family, they had their jobs and so on. So they share their life with us
Mm,
and while they're talking about their Parkinson's. And I learned so much from them about their attitude of life. Lots of them run business, lots of them went through challenges in their lives. And there are some incredible people in the community where I get all the motivation from. And also, we've got incredible business advisors and community advisors, and they share with us with their experience. One of our business advisor have been one of chief marketing officer for Samsung for over 20, 30 years. And he amount of the care that he have with the customers of Samsung is just incredibly inspiring because it was really easy for me to just think that corporations will be just looking into the numbers, but it was one of the biggest misunderstanding that I had because really talking with business leaders, there's so many incredible people who always put people at front. So I think I might have been really lucky. And also I think I always try to follow up with people who does inspire me and keep them around me. That's probably one of the reasons why I end up constantly getting motivation from people who really, really care. So yeah, I think it's not a single source. Find inspiration from lots of people day to day.
that's brilliant, and it's so true, Lucy, what you say. You know, when you're providing a product or a service for people, you really need to keep them at the heart of what you're doing. And it's very easy, as your company gets bigger and bigger, to lose sight of who
Mm,
it is that you're doing this for. But your customers have to be front and center. And
definitely.
you've got to keep in touch with them and delivering phenomenal customer service. It's so important. So listen, Lucy, tell me what's next for Charco Neurotech. What's the big plan? What's coming up?
We've got lots of plans, and I can't wait to bring more smiles for people. I always try to remember this one thought that I had when I met with this gentleman about, okay, let's bring smiles for people with Parkinson's. It's just not about one device. It is the service, as you mentioned. It is the all the support that we can give them around people with Parkinson's, meaning that it's them, their family, with their loved ones, their healthcare providers, and so on. So we are doing lots of research and development. We are still learning a lot from the devices going out there. Now there's about more than 1,700 people using the device in the UK. There are lots of requests from US, like Asia, everywhere. So we have to scale the company. We have to bring the devices for people, but moreover, we want to do more research and development, developing further generation of the device and the platform so we can give more support to people. Um, so innovation in the medical sector has been not as active as other sectors, I have to say. But I'm really looking forward to more innovation in healthcare sectors so that we can give support to people who have long-term conditions to improve their quality of life. So yeah, I'm quite excited because over the years I can already see that there are more companies, more professionals getting into this sector. So yeah, I'm looking forward to collaborating with them and yeah, essentially caring more for people.
Oh, do you know what that is? I mean, I love talk of innovation. I'm massively, I love hearing, new things that are coming on board. And I have to say, Lucy, I've done a number of interviews with, people that have gone into the healthcare sector with products or services. And one thing that I kind of consistently hear with them is challenges with funding. I don't know, is that something, that you've found, or, do you, do you have sort of, I mean, I can imagine that because of what you're doing, there's an awful lot of interest there. Do you see, what challenges do you see sort of as you, like you say, scale your business up?
Over the years, we went through three fundraisings in total, and we were very lucky in a way that we were able to generate lots of interest, especially Parkinson's is the
Hmm.
fastest growing neurodegenerative condition. So lots of people
Gosh.
are aware of the seriousness of the condition, and there needs to be more support in the sector. So we were able to raise the fund over the years. Obviously, right now is quite challenging times for the startups and so on. Um, I think this is one of the key things that we want to pay attention moving forward as well, because we, as mentioned, we want to scale the company while we keep our ethos, keep the culture of how much we care for people. And this essentially comes down to making sure that we've got a robust business model behind us. Yes, people do pay, but we have to give more value to people. So this is something that we are absolutely focusing on. There's a fundraising that we will do, but also how are we going to make a sustainable company that can constantly generate innovation and value for people. So these are kind of lots of thoughts that I'm having at the moment.
Oh, do you know what? It sounds really, really exciting. And I do tend to believe that, if you're bringing something to the market and you're making a massive difference to people's lives, then do you know what? Your product will probably sell itself. And like you say, I mean, your energy and your enthusiasm, and with a really good team behind you, do you know what, Lucy? I really wish you all the best of luck. I love hearing stories that make a difference to people's lives. It's just, it's just so nice to hear. Um, Thinking back to your 18-year-old self, Lucy, what advice would you give yourself?
I'm 18 years old me. I was actually really interested in lots of things because I wanted to find something that really, really interests me, basically. What makes me enthusiastic? What makes me wake up in the morning? And because of that, I did lots of internship. I studied lots of different things. I tried lots of different things. And I think I would tell myself the same kind of things that there will be challenges, but it's about how we take the attitude and overcome that. And um, these challenges will pass and there will be new challenges, but it's just about the attitude. If I can share one story, I go to Korea for a business trip quite often because we've got a Korean
Hmm.
entity. And now my father was he was also in a business for a long time. And every time I visit there, he would always give me incredible advice and inspiration. He asked me about how the quality in the manufacturing is going. And I was saying there are these challenges. And 3 months later, when I went there, my dad was asking, so what is the biggest challenge at the moment? And I was saying, well, the devices are going out there. We want to make sure that the community support is there, but we're getting a lot of emails. And then he paused for a little bit, and then he asked me, so how's the manufacturing and quality challenges going on? Because you were just focusing on that last time. And I said, that's a great question. We did overcome that, but you kind of forget about it, and there's new
Yeah.
challenges. And I think it was such a great waking moment for me that challenges come. new challenges come, but it's just a matter of what did we learn about it, how did we overcome it, and just being prepared for the next challenge.
And do you know what, Lucy? I think with an attitude like that, I think so many people, they go into business thinking it's going to be easy. And it very rarely is, whereas when you come in with a really positive attitude and, you are sort of prepared, the road to success is never a straight line. It tends to be a bit more like
Um,
this, kind of all over the place. But I love your attitude
Absolutely.
towards it. Um, so listen, thank you for sharing that story with us. I love that you've got your dad involved. Just before we wrap up, Lucy, is there anything else that you want to share with the people watching this video?
I would love to once again quote my parents' biggest lesson that I had when I was very small. I have to say, I think I was about 12 years old. My dad was saying that never chase money, always chase the value and create the value. If you create the value and you chase the value, then the money follows and everything else will follow. And that was the biggest lesson that I learned from him that I always keep in my heart. As you mentioned about funding challenges and so on, if you're creating a value, things will happen. So I think that's something that I try to always remember, and it has been incredible kind of direction that I always go back to when I have challenges. And I do want to mention, as you mentioned, attitude is such an important thing. But myself also have lots of challenges that I do obviously feel down. I do need motivations time to time, but that's why you surround yourself with incredible people who you can pick them up when they need motivation and they pick you up when I need the motivation. So surrounding yourself with good people that can keep you motivated and inspired is, I think, really, really important as a founder's journey.
Do you know what, Lucy? There's nothing more that I can add to that. It's so true. They do say that you're the average of the five people that you hang about with. So if you hang out with phenomenal people, then you're going to be phenomenal. And you know what? I just love, the lesson that you've learned from your dad. It is so true. Deliver value, don't chase money because money will come as a default when you're delivering great value. So wise words there from your parents, Lucy. We don't often like to admit that our parents do know best. So, Lucy, if people want to get in touch with you and to find out more about your device and and about your business, how can they do it?
Our website, if you go to Google and search Charco Neurotech, they will be able to get to our website and there are lots of information there. My email is lucyjung@charconeurotech.com. So yeah, you can approach me. I try to be as supportive for founders as possible because that's the support that I got from other founders. So yeah, you can always reach out to me and I'll try my best to be supportive.
Oh, do you know what? That's so fantastic, Lucy. And what I'll do is when we put this video out on YouTube, I will put the details on how people can contact you in the sort of blurb that goes with it as well. So, just to make it easy for people as well. Well, listen, Lucy, do you know what? It's been so fantastic talking to you. I really love
You
um
too.
in innovation and the fact that you're just making a phenomenal difference to people's lives. The world needs people like you, so I wish you the hugest amount of success, and just keep delivering what you're doing. It's so phenomenal, the impact that you're having on people's lives. So it really has been a pleasure talking to you today.
You too. Thank you so much. That really encourages me as well. So thank you so much for that note and having us today.
Oh, thanks a lot, Lucy.